The Democratic Republic of Congo is a country in the sub-Saharan region of Africa, struck by the aftermath of an African civil war. Drawn by the rich resources of the Congo, countries incited warfare, causing refugees of these African countries, such as Rwanda, to leak through the eastern border of the Democratic Republic of Congo. Numerous wars due to civil unrest and unstable relations with the neighboring African countries have devastated the DRC for decades. With rebel groups battling for power, women and children are the most prominent victims in the Democratic Republic of Congo, as an exploitation of women's bodies is too common, and children lack the foundation for a bright future. Poverty and unemployment paint the severely impoverished country, while civil unrest and unhealthy environments only make the situation more difficult. All this results from a poor political system, menial social standards, unsanitary environments, and a dreadful economy.
All the conflict and fighting has led many women and children to flee to places like refugee camps, where there are minimal shelter and food. This picture shows a camp just outside of the city of Goma, where thousands of refugees have settled down for the time being. With rampant crime, lack of sufficient shelter, and over 70% of the country living in poverty, many people are left with nowhere to go and no one to ask for help. The DRC is considered the rape capital of the world, with almost 70% of the female population as victims of sexual abuse. Although rape is illegal, there's a lack of reinforcement, and women are usually forced to keep quiet in order to protect their family honor. Much of this rape is a cause of violent conflict across regions of the country. Furthering the neglect of women, domestic violence is common and accepted by society. Children lack food, shelter, education, and for many of them, a proper family. 28% of children under 5 are underweight, and school life expectancy is only 8 years. They flee from war because their parents have abandoned them or have died in the conflict, leaving them to fend for themselves. A 15-year-old by the name of Mushasi Muhera has suffered immeasurable pain in his short life. Just this past December, Mushasi fled from his hometown of Goma to the small settlement of Karuba, 30 kilometers to the west of Goma. His father was killed during the fighting in Goma, and his mother was so poor there was nothing she could do for him, leaving him all by himself at such a young age. When he arrived in Karuba, he was fortunate enough to be noticed by a townsperson by the name of Samir Sibonera. She relates to Mushasi because she too had to flee from her home city with her kids when the African War started, and had to survive on the streets with almost nothing. Even though she's already struggling with her own 5 children, Sibonera took Mushasi under her wing and provided him with a small shelter and enough food to survive.
Few children are lucky enough to be taken in by another family because of the negligent conditions the DRC provides for children, and the over-exploitation of women's bodies that lead to an excess of birth when the support to raise a child properly are infinitesimal. Congo's economy is among the worst in the world. This results from political instability scaring away foreign businesses, poor political administration, illegal employment, state-controlled prices, and a lack of access to financial services. To ease the economic distress of the DRC, organizations are helping the DRC on its road to recovery.
For example, UNICEF has a goal of raising over $130 million for the DRC in 2013 alone, with the majority of the donations funding nutrition, child protection, emergency preparedness, hygiene, health, and education. The United Nations are helping by creating peace deals between African countries and Congo, providing food relief to displaced people, and by training and equipping a Congolese special police unit in intervention and combat techniques to fight sexual violence.
The Convention, a human rights treaty that provides a basis for ensuring equal rights for women in relation to their body and reproductive decisions. The parties that are part of the treaty have vowed to take appropriate measures in order to protect women from trafficking and rape.
Ranked last in the world in the Human Development Index, the Democratic Republic of Congo is taking small steps forward, but has a lot of ground to make up. Poor social standards, lack of political reinforcement, unhealthy environments, and widespread poverty sum up the conditions of this country. It is tough to imagine the deficient life of the women and children in the Democratic Republic of Congo, but help is on the way.
I don't have much voice left. Let's just do it. Yeah. How much do you know about pain? I'm looking for somebody, anybody that relates. I'm stuck in the same room, don't even know the day, but the night time's here, so I'm definitely